Alright guys, so the next stage in the setup process is to define your campaign settings. So what we're going to call this campaign, because it's an example campaign, we're just going to call it example campaign 1. And then we're going to scroll down, and one of the things that Google asks you is whether or not you want your ads to show on the show on Google Search Partners or the Google Display Network. So the ads will show in the search network, but what we don't want them to do is to show on Google's affiliate partners throughout the web. So we're going to go ahead and untick this, and we're also going to go ahead and untick the display network button. The ads wouldn't show on this anyway because they aren't display ads, but as best practice it's good just to unselect these two. The next thing we're going to do is select the location. So what you want to do is press advanced search and type in the United States as an example, and here you can see the estimated reach of all the people in your select countries. You can press specific states, you can press whole countries. There are also locations with where Google doesn't really know the limited reach. So just go ahead and select the United States and then press save. Then you're going to scroll down and you're going to select location options. And one thing you want to do, Google recommend that you leave this setting on so people in or who show an interest in your target locations. We don't want to show our ads to people who are interested in the United States. That could be the whole world. We want to make sure that Google only show our ads to people in the United States or who are regularly in the United States. And we also want to make sure that Google, if we've selected any exclusion countries, that they stick to those specific countries and not people who show an interest in those countries. The next thing you want to do is select the language. So the language has already been selected as English by default, so that's fine. Audiences we're going to leave as observation for now. Once you have created specific audience groups in your account, then you'll go ahead and apply those audiences to specific campaigns. But for now, we'll leave them to the recommended observation setting. And then from there, you want to set the max daily budget for your campaign. So we're going to go ahead and just type in $100. And then check that the delivery method is set up correctly. So we can see here that it's set up to standard, which is correct. And then from here, we're going to control our bidding settings. Now this is super important because Google have all sorts of bidding settings, but the bidding settings with the most control are what we've covered in the course, which is manual CPC. So this allows you to change the max CPC and based on performance or based on your specific goals. So you can see that Google have set it to maximize conversions by default. Now we want to go ahead and override this, go in here and select manual CPC. And then Google want you to, again by default, select enhanced CPC, and this allows Google to automatically adjust the CPC for each keyword based on the competitive landscape. And for now, we want to untick this because it will give us more control over our budgets, which is important in the early stages as we're trying to develop an understanding for how the account behaves. The next step are these settings here, which you can ignore for now. Oh, actually, no, what we will do is we will, we've mentioned this in the course about ad rotation. If you want to sort of conduct an experiment to see which ads perform the best. Now, what we want to do for now is just let Google select the best performing ads. Later on in the course, throughout your advertising journey, once you've set up and gained a bit more experience, then you can ask Google to rotate evenly. But for now, just leave it to you can ask Google to rotate ads indefinitely, so not optimize them, but for now we'd recommend that you let Google just optimize your ads automatically. So once you scroll down, the next section is the ad extension section, and because we're setting up the account from scratch, there won't be any site links or call out extensions within the account. But once we've set up the interface and downloaded the editor, then we'll go ahead and create some site link extensions that we can then add to our specific campaigns. So that's all for this section. Click save and continue, and then move on to the next video.